A bombshell was revealed in court.
P. Diddy. There was a notable increase in streams of his music across various platforms. Does this indicate that people are able to separate the art from the artist? People I don't care about. I am, totally. I will play P. Diddy if I want to. I'll play R. Kelly tonight if I want to. I mean, we'd have to not play Michael Jackson, and no one's not doing that.
I still watch Woody Allen films. I mean, I don't know.
I totally agree.
Well, Woody Allen didn't do anything. Are you really part of that?
I don't know. I just brought it up. I mean,
we are all a product of not just our own past as people, but our own pasts going back in time.
Yes, this is a follow-up video about this Diddy situation. This is my third video I'm doing about this. When I look at what is going on and the bombshell information is coming out in court and people's reactions to this, it clearly tells me that something is happening. Some says Cassie's testimony just proved one thing, like this guy will go free. Like you saw, I've watched a certain video of Bill Maher saying he will continue to play his music videos.
Yesterday, Cassie Ventura dropped what people were referring to as a bombshell when she revealed for the first time on cross-examination that she received a $10 million settlement from the Intercontinental Hotel in connection with the 2016 assault. News articles and people are calling this a bombshell admission because this is the first time that the jury heard about this $10 million settlement that she received from the Intercontinental. The prosecution had asked her, do you have any financial motive to be testifying here today? And Cassie Ventura testified no. The prosecution made a big mistake by not bringing up this settlement on direct examination. And they might have made a big mistake by asking that question of whether or not she had any financial motive to testify, letting her say no, and then opening the door for the defense to ask her about it on cross-examination. I mentioned before, I'm a former prosecutor and a current criminal defense attorney, and literally on the first day of trial skills in law school, they teach you that if you have a witness that you're gonna put on the stand and you know they have bad facts, you need to get ahead of those bad facts. Meaning that the prosecution should have asked her about the settlement on direct and controlled the narrative around it. And you also know as an attorney that absolutely any witness you're putting on the stand is gonna get cross-examined. So of course that's a part of your trial strategy. Like, what is the other side gonna try to expose? What are the weaknesses my witness has? What are their main points gonna be on cross-examination? Like, as an attorney, you have to think of both sides always, and you should always be anticipating the questions that the other side is going to have for your witnesses. They should have let Cassie explain that she got this $10 million settlement, that she still is here to testify anyways, that she would have done it regardless of the settlement, and they could have killed the blow that that admission is going to land on the jury. The settlement would not have been such a big deal if it would have come out on direct examination.
Yes, these few bombshells that I've seen people putting out, I've seen people with mixed reactions. Some says what Cassie was doing, she was happy with it. Yeah, that she was, she was okay for this number of years. Some take an example, consider that Diddy was poor. You will not see this girl in this relationship. She would not stay that long. She was there for the money. She went ahead to collect money. When I look at the whole situation, sometimes it is difficult to cover this topic. Yes. Megyn did the whole analysis of the whole situation. When I look at her side, what she said on that clip, which I'm going to show you, was extremely important because she looked at it both ways. This whole, in fact, the whole case to me is just nasty.
And it was such a gotcha moment that there were apparently literally audible gasps in the courtroom because everyone was so shocked to hear this for the first time. That is exactly what you never want the other side to be able to do, to make your witness look like a liar. And that's exactly what they did to Cassie Ventura. Or you try to find me in the comments, I'm not calling Cassie a liar by any means. I'm saying the defense tried to make her look like a liar by pointing out that she never brought this up before and that this is the first time we're hearing about this settlement. And they not only made Cassie look like a liar, it also kills the credibility of the prosecution because now the jury's thinking like, hey, we've been listening to Cassie's testimony all week and you guys didn't bring this up. Like, why haven't we heard about this? It seems like such a secret now and it makes it look like it's so much bigger of a deal than it is because they got that gotcha moment. And also because the prosecution is representing the government, they're supposed to be the honest ones. The fact that they're hiding something, it just doesn't play well with the jury. And the jury starts to not trust the prosecution anymore and starts believing what the defense is saying, that this is a setup and they're unfairly going after an innocent man. It's just a horrible situation for the prosecution to have put themselves in. And from the reports, it seems like that was one of the last questions, if not the last question of the day, which is, of course, wonderful lawyering by the defense attorneys, because you always want to ask your best question last and not ask that extra question to let her explain away why she got this settlement. Only imagine that it was literally like a mic drop and the defense was like, nothing further for this witness. And then Cassie Ventura apparently did get off the stand and walked away, and she literally like huffed getting off the stand. And because that was the defense's last question, that was the last thing the jury heard before they went home for the weekend. That means that they are going to be thinking about that last question and Cassie's response for the rest of the weekend, and it's really going to sink in. Honestly, this was such an amateur mistake on behalf of the prosecution, and I'm very surprised that for a trial that is this high stakes and this high profile, attorneys will be making mistakes like that. It's kind of crazy.
What this lady is saying clearly state the minds of a lot of people that I've seen on social media. Like, this was a big blunder. It paved the way. Like, they are liars. That is the impression that I've given to a lot of people. For a very long time now, they have been talking about, oh, the settlement was this amount. Nobody was talking about this because they never knew that this has happened. Meaning, she took money here, took money the other side again. To me, that should have not been the case here.
I'm horrified by this case. And the more I look at it, the more I think the case is getting stronger by the day against Diddy, the claims against him. I do not predict he's definitely going to get convicted, but I'm more and more believing it's likely. And that's because watching, for example, the cross-examination of the star witness has been, I think, kind of underwhelming. I thought that they'd have more, and I thought that they'd be a little bit more skilled, but instead they seem to be all over the board, the defense counsel, on trying to just score points with her. And they're clearly, I get it, trying to prove that she consented to some of this behavior. Okay? You need to prove that she consented to all of it. That's the truth. I mean, more accurately stated, the prosecution needs to prove that there were at least some of these encounters, so-called freak-offs, that were not consensual on her part. And I think they're doing it, I have to tell you. So let's just take a step back, okay? Because what's interesting about this case, and the reason we're all paying such close attention, is because this is one of the most famous men in the world. Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever, is one of the biggest celebrities in America, in the world. The people who cover the entertainment industry, the people who cover the music industry, where the hell were you losers? Yeah, that whole, I guess I touched this world a bit in my year at NBC, but that whole world around these celebs is all about one thing: sucking up to them for ongoing access. It's just all about kissing their round rumps so you can have ongoing access to Diddy, and you might be invited to a Diddy party or have him swing by to promote his new record. That's the name of the game.
This is what drew my attention. When it concerns other issues, we will see these people getting leaked information, this here. But this whole situation, they don't bother. They don't even cover. They didn't cover it in the very beginning, like to expose certain things like this happening. Because they are scared. Some, like Megan Kelly said here, some just want to have that positions like, oh, let me not say this, I'll be blocked here, things like this. We are hearing it in 2025. Like she predicted that the guy might be convicted. I don't know. I'm just reporting the news so you can see exactly what is happening. People have different opinions about this whole situation. Reason I took a decision like to play both sides so you can see the mindset of people about this whole situation. Yes, you heard the other lady what she has observed, and mechanically observations about the whole thing.
Why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize? Not just us, but like the Harvards and the MITs of the world. Look how they lionized Epstein, not to mention the Bill Clintons. Why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to put up on these pedestals?
They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them.
White people don't want to live around ratchet black people. And black people don't want to live around ratchet black people. I mean, it's nothing like going to the Walmart on a Sunday morning and then you see the bonnet crew walk in. Loud, obnoxious, the kids are everywhere, in every aisle, unattended. And that's anywhere you go.
Black fatigue. This video might make you uncomfortable, but
the truth will come out, justice will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Carmelo to run. He had a right to stand and defend himself. And I'm going to say that if I am Carmelo Anthony's lawyer,
0 to 100
has been overwhelming. The lies in their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the facts of the case and compare the two. You have to compare who was the initial aggressor.
Bedroom, because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything. And then the
Registration Act is
talking about this man, Killmonger.
my summary of the first 100 days is that
If film and TV productions continue to
First term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Kardashians. Swoop, just invite them all, which is what Anna Wintour does every year. This Carmelo Anthony case, Michelle Obama, every day.
To live in the White House. Many people